Welcome to the creepy tales of Hollow Hills. We will journey deep into the legends of this awkward little town. Today's episode, The Watcher. This podcast is presented by VCDI and TCDI. A group of teenagers were camping in the dense woods outside of Hollow Hills, the night heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth. The fire they have built flickered weakly, casting long, eerie shadows that danced on the surrounding trees. They laughed and joked, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling that had settled over their camp. As the nights grew darker, the conversation turned to local legends. One of the teens, Mark, leaned in closer to the fire, his voice slow and serious. "Have you guys heard about the Silent Watcher?" he asked, his eyes flickering nervously towards the darkness beyond the firelight.
"The what?"
Jenna asked, her voice tinged with unease. "The Silent Watcher," Mark replied. "It's an old story around here. They say that there's something in these woods that's always watching, always waiting. It doesn't make a sound, doesn't leave tracks, just watches. People who come out here alone sometimes feel it, that sense of being watched, but they never see anything until it's too late." "Cut it out, Mark," Tim said, trying to sound tough, though his voice wavered slightly. But Mark shook his head. "I'm serious. They said if you're out here and you feel like someone's watching you, it's probably already too late." The wind picked up, rustling the leaves, and the fire sputtered as if in response. The teens huddled close together, the night suddenly feeling much colder. A branch snapped somewhere in the darkness, and everyone jumped, their eyes scanning the trees.
"Just the wind,"
Jenna whispered, though her voice betrayed her fear. But as they tried to shake off their unease, they all began to feel it. A heavy, oppressive sensation, like unseen eyes were boring into them from every direction. The fire dimmed, its warmth no longer reaching them, and the darkness seemed to close in tighter. Then they heard it. A soft, almost imperceptible rustling from the bushes behind them. It was slow, deliberate, as if someone was creeping closer, step by silent step. "Who's there?" Tim called out, his voice shaky. Silence. Mark grabbed a flashlight and shone it into the trees, the beam cutting through the darkness. But there was nothing there, just the trees and the undergrowth, unmoving and silent.
"Maybe we should just go back to the car,"
Jenna suggested, her voice trembling. But right before anyone could agree, the rustling restarted again, louder this time, as if something was right behind them. They whipped around, shining the flashlight in every direction, but still saw nothing. "Okay, this isn't funny," Tim said, backing towards the fire. "We need to..." Before he could finish, a cold hand suddenly clamped down on his shoulder from behind. He screamed, spinning around, the flashlight slipping from his grasp and hitting the ground. The others gasped, their hearts racing as the figure of a tall, shadowy man loomed out of the darkness. His face was pale and gaunt, his eyes hollow, and his breath came in ragged, raspy gasps. He didn't make a sound as he stared at them, his eyes filled with a terrifying emptiness. Then, without a warning, the figure lunged at them, his mouth opening wide in a silent scream. But just as he was about to reach them, he vanished into thin air, leaving only the echo of their own screams and the cold, silent night. For a moment, they stood frozen, hearts pounding, the darkness around them now suffocating. Then As if snapped out of a trance, they grabbed their things and bolted through the trees, leaving the campsite and its lingering terror far behind. As they ran, none of them dared to look back, too afraid they might see the silent watcher still lurking in the shadows, watching them as they fled.